What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to showcase you guys my first place chicken pult is what we're calling it in the community, but it's Dragapult Blaziken, and I've won not one but two locals and a third place finish with this deck profile, and it's been super crisp, super clean. I wanted to kind of go ahead and showcase you the deck profile and kind of talk about why the deck is functionable, maybe some theory behind it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and go into the engine. Oops. Now, guys, Pokemon is in standard size sleeves, so sometimes it's kind of hard to get them. But we played four Drippy, four Draclock. This card is amazing because it lets you tutor your deck. So if you're coming over from Yu-Gi-Oh, what this card essentially does, or what Pokemon essentially does, is let you dig your deck, where Yu-Gi-Oh kind of doesn't, because Yu-Gi-Oh cannot have that much consistency, or it breaks the game, but Pokemon needs consistency to be able to bridge and actually be able to get stuff off. This is a really good tutor. It says look at the top two cards of your deck, put one into your hand, put one face down at the bottom of your deck, and then Dragon Headbutt does come up in certain situations where if it's like maybe if you have to Crustle and you could put some damage on, you need to like knock it out, or on Dunsparce if it actually had a round on my first locals win. That was round 2 where he opens up and I go first, set Dreepy plus an energy, and then he just puts up a Dunsparce, nothing else passes, and I was able to get that off to win the game. And then obviously 3 of the Dragapult. The reason that this deck is so fluent is because of the Phantom Dive attack. Phantom Dive says 200 at active and spread 6 damage counters in any way you like. But I think this is stock standard. I do see people playing 2 of this. I don't think that's correct. I've been playing Dragapult for a long time. You want to have the third one because your prizing can be weird. If you prize both, or you prize one and then they're able to knock this out, it can cost you games. And then the chicken part of it, I played 2 Torchic, 1 Combuskin, and 2 Blaziken. The Seething Spirit ability is really, really nice. This says once per turn, attach an energy to any of your Pokemon, and it doesn't matter if you're in the active or they're on the bench. And then 200 attack does kind of come up in certain situations, like if they're playing a heavy Clefairy line, or you can mitigate some damage with the Dragapult to trade. This is your pseudo attacker to guarantee your 2 prizes off. Or if you're like playing against like a grass box format, that the attack does come up. But what you're really wanting this to be is to tutor to your energies to help set your Dragapult up. Well, not having the Neo upper energy as your ace spec, you need a way to be able to hard tutor it into the mid to late game. And then for the support Pokemon, I played 2 Badoo, 1 Shaman, 1 Psyduck, 1 Clefairy, 1 Pheasant Skippity, and 1 Monkey Dory, and 1 Meowth. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this real quick. I like the fact of having Itchy Pollen. In my local meta, we're starting to see a lot of Alakazam. If you can put Itchy Pollen into play for multiple turns, Alakazam can't get set up, and then you can start pressing the board state. Now, the reason that I played these 2 still is because Dusknoir, again, is prominent. Shutting their Dusknoir lines off is very important because you're kind of a slower pace setup deck. So if Dusknoir is able to get offline, it can actually tutor and get for you. And then Shaman, I do hate Shaman. I think it's a Garnet. I don't know at some point if I will cut it, but the fact of the Terra Box decks, and then the decks that can take multiple prizes, if this isn't in play, like for example that Mega Zygarde deck or the Mega Starmie deck that are like fake decks, if you brick or you're setting up slow, you don't want to not have access to this. So right now I'm still fairy crafting it, and there may be a point I cut it, but well, let's just see from there. And then then your power 1-ofs. I do know some people play 2 Monkey Dory. I just found myself clocking up a lot, and I'm more catered to my local meta. You could play 1 Badoo, 2 Monkey Dory, but I also do like the fact of having a free retreat pivot. That's what this deck lacks without not having access to Latias, in my opinion. So I do like the 1 Monkey. Pheasant Skippity, obviously one of the best draw cards in the game. Clefairy is like your pseudo third attacker and can come up in your Lucario matchup. Or my final the other game against Garchomp, I actually took 2 of his Rose Raids out just off this standalone card, and then I was able to win me the final for my second locals win with it. And then Meowth obviously tutors for any support in your deck. I felt like the Pokemon are correct. Like I said, I feel like the only thing that's interchangeable is these 2. But this is going to be defined on your meta, and this is like the same scenario with this. I want to be able to get more testing to see that. I would rather not have this than have this, if that makes sense. And then the things that help you tutor and set up your board. We play 4 Ultra Ball. 4 to Buddy Poffin. Buddy Poffin says take 270 HP or lower Pokemon from your deck, put them on your bench. If you open at 2, that's great. You just set up your board. And then free to Pokepad. One of the most busted cards in the game we've had in a long time. It says search your deck for a non-rule box Pokemon, add it to your hand. Non-rule box Pokemon. So like this searches your evolution line. You're pretty much your mid-evolution lines, like your Draclocks, your Dreepies. It's honorary Buddy Poffin at times. It also searches for like your Shaman, your Duck, your Monkeys. So that's also kind of another reason you don't have to really worry about like maxing out on the Monkey Door, because you already have your tutor pivot for it. And then the supporter lineup I play 4 Lily's Determination. One of the best going second cards in the game. Lets you take your bad hands, put it back in, get 8, or if you have a great hand, you could discard your hand and then replenish. That's going to win you games a lot because we don't have a lot of hand disrupt in the format at the current moment. One crisp, but I wasn't playing this to start with, but it's important to have access to it because there's some times you can you open like your rare candy and then you have a way to your mouth, and then your mouth can search a crisp and just help you press boards. One judge, I didn't want to have this was a second crispin, but I wanted to have kind of more hand disrupt. I noticed that a lot of times I don't resolve the second crispin and it's just a dead garnet in the hand, where this can kind of like replenish my hand to help me play through like certain situations, especially like Alakazam. If they load up like a massive hand, that's crazy. And another deck that's coming along is that Mega Frostlass. If you could just keep your hand down, they can't trade KOs with you. And then the Rocket Betrayal, this helps pretty much search either for your rare candy or your unfair stamp. And then I played the 3 Bosses Orders. This was the 4th Bosses Order, but like I said, I wanted to have access to be able to search this. Your most busted aspect in the game. It says if your opponent took a knockout last turn, you put them down to 2 and you get 5. So that's your recovery card. Now, this will look a little bit differently post Chaos Rising when we get the special red card in. And then these are just like supports to help. Your two Night Stretcher help recovery, and then your 2 rare candy helps you get your chicken set up or your Dragapult set up. And then I play the 2 stadiums, which is the Jamming Tower and the Risky Drench. This is pretty neat. I actually really love this card throughout this, not the first week in one locals, but the second week I won. I was putting this down and couldn't out it, and I was playing into it, and it was helping my Phantom Dive actually be more proficient. And then this is then here. You could ask why I'm still playing the 2 Dark Energy with the 1 Monkey Dory, but I think it's just simple. When you're playing like a low count like that, your prizing in this game kind of does come up to extent to where it could cost you like a game or like a power play. So I just wanted to at least keep the 2 in. And also your Blaziken only needs a colorless energy and a fire energy, so you can use that as your sub energy for the attack on that. Alrighty guys, well was grateful to be able to show you the deck profile for today. I am going to be playing more Pokemon, more Yu-Gi-Oh! You will be having more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content coming in the future. But anyways guys, I'll see you in the next video.
I've been debating and contemplating it. I guess that I really felt